Hello everybody, as you can see this is not the lightsaber video. I decided to do something a little different because I am losing my mind waiting for this lightsaber to come in the mail. I should be getting it within 2 weeks. Hopefully I'll get my email confirmation and I'll have it soon. I'm literally going insane. Anywho, so I wanted to showcase a mod called Kengeki Gaiden Mountain. The mod is called Kengeki Gaiden for Mountain Blade Warband. For those of you who have played Mountain Blade Warband, or who have played Warband, Kengeki Gaiden is a very interesting Japanese samurai-esque slash fantasy game. It's quite interesting. For those of you who have never heard of Mountain Blade is a tactical role-playing RPG-style game. It's kind of difficult to explain, but I'm going to go ahead and showcase the first bit. Now you can pick male or female. Females actually do have... My cat's was cuddling on me and I've got a bunch of hair all over the place now. Now females do or girls, I guess, have less choice in the game, because as a woman in feudal era, you didn't really have a whole lot to say. Or you didn't have a whole lot of say. And so each one of these choices does different things. I'm picking this out for a very specific reason, which is basically I got lower stats, but I'm going to have an item that gives me really good stuff later on. It'll give me it'll give me a nice little chunk of money for later on, which is what I want. Really. So I'll do that. Oh, my two-handed is so bad. Okay, so I'll just do that. The one thing I really don't like about this mod is I think the heads are really poorly done. Like, the heads themselves, I guess, aren't bad, but like the neck section and how they don't really match the armor just really bugs me. Okay, I'm not going to record this section, but once I find a head I actually like, I will start recording again. So see you in a minute. Alright, I decided on this one. I've seen worse, but whatever. Anywho, so here you can pick which area to start. I strongly recommend Land of the Shinobi, unless you know what you're doing. Simply because it's a little easier to fight the enemies that are here. Okay, so, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Mountain Blade, you can use ranged attacks if you have a ranged weapon by doing this. Shift will let you zoom in. You switch weapons using the mouse wheel. Missed. What that was is I threw my shield sword at the guy. Like I said, I missed, so... But that gives you a small example of the combat. You can set up the combat to be either the direction that your mouse swings or your last movement key. So basically he's going to say, my sister was kidnapped, I need you to save her. So we say, sure, we will, and then hit tab to escape, or to get out of that little section. Now, this is the world map, and I'm going to cover different factions, what they do, and what I would recommend doing. Now, the Angry Farmers are horrible. Most of their classes are terrible. And a specific, what I mean by classes is if you go to these villages, you can recruit people. The Angry Farmers, unfortunately, don't have very good armor, they don't have very good weapons, and they're horrible. But they're very cheap, so you can raise a large army very fast. The, what are they called? The Kurjit Zipang. They're basically cavalry. Specifically, though, their mounted archers are insanely powerful, and they are very unfair. I dislike them greatly. The ninja, or Land of the Shinobi, they're basically ninjas. They're actually pretty good they're long range, they're considered archers, but they're not really. They use throwing knives, kunai, and then they switch to melee weapons when they get in close. The downside is they are a little bit lightly armored, which I do dislike. These guys, the Tenbatsu. Tenbatsu are basically cavalry oriented. There you go. That's all you need to know. The Shogunate are the Greys. Shogunate are heavy armor. They're samurai. they're one-handed samurai, and then the shogunate rebels or samurai rebels are two-handed samurai, basically. So, but I recommend spawning in the shinobi area because they have looters spawn more frequently than any other area, and they are easier to fight there. Otherwise, in most of the other areas, you're going to fight very powerful units that can kill you fairly quickly. I am also playing with cheats off. Mountain Blade does have cheats. I am not playing with them. Okay, so when you go to a town, you have a couple of different options, and my stopwatch is running. Yes, it is. Okay. So you can go to the castle. So when I said Mountain Blade was like it's kind of hard to classify. What I meant was like there's actually like diplomacy that you can do. You can actually be a diplomat. There's a political system involved that you can experiment with. It's very interesting. You can walk around the streets. So like that battle that we just did, we can go to the tavern to recruit other like characters, or we can recruit actual like elite soldiers right off the bat. We can go to the arena and practice combat. We can go to the marketplace to buy stuff. We can wait here, which does have its perks. Or we can meet the guildmaster. Now, in particular, I want to go to the marketplace. You can buy armor, or weapons, armor, horses, which I believe you usually start with a horse. You have a basic horse. Kengeki Gaiden gives you a decent horse right off the bat. There is also a saddling system, or not a saddling system, there's an economic system. So the more of an item there is, the better or the cheaper it is. I'm gonna buy a bunch of grain. Okay, so I have $40 left. Let's see what I can sell. That'll give me that. Rusty the strange weapons. Ah, of course. Okay. I really should do this when I'm tired. Okay, so he only has 250. See, this is why I wanted to get... If you start as a university student, you start with a book. Books sell for a good amount of... Ah, here we go. So I'm going to actually sell this to them, so now I have 800. The downside is I have no money. So if I get attacked, I'm basically going to die. Oh dear. Run, please. Because I am a single unit and I am not carrying a whole lot, or I have nobody with me right now, I am actually very, like, I move much quicker than enemies, so unless I run right into them, they are not going to be able to catch me. Phew. Oh, yes! And there's a tournament. Okay. I'm gonna roll the dice. Okay, so I'm going to... You can bet money on yourself to win. This is going to be your primary way of making money. Now, I am kind of gambling here, but... Oh, and I'm doing it with reduced stats, too. So there's 2 teams of 3 fighters. And I am mounted, so basically we are going to win. In terms of combat, I'm actually really good at the game. So I should be good. The fact they both have heavy swords is kind of bad, but now I have a heavy sword. Okay. As I'm sure you guessed, a heavy sword is a two-handed weapon, basically. So it's based off of your two-handed skill. Now, you want to bet as much as you can in that first section. Oh, wow, they really wanted to screw me over on that. Boy. Basically, when you get a dagger, it's varied what you get. Sometimes you'll get something good, sometimes you won't. In that case, I got a sword, but I also got, or I got a dagger, and then I got a bow. In particular, I actually really hate those. My preferred weapon is the great sword. Okay, so there's an archer over there, there's 2 guys over here. Okay, there we go. Now, unless you've played this a lot, I recommend don't do a tournament right off the bat. Kengeki Gaiden is also a little bit unfair because it allows you to do a tournament right off the bat. Or it allows you to bet much, much more than you normally could. So, say, particularly, like, I think the most you can bet is 100. So you actually, like, your winnings are extremely limited, where I think the most you can win in Kengeki Gaiden is, like, 36,000 in one go, which will basically buy you the best weapons and armor in the game. Oh, this isn't that good. This is really bad. Oh no, excellent. Come on, give me your... And a couple of times it has those weird things, but I really like this mod over the native because the combat, I feel the animations are, like, the combat swings are better. I like the armor sets, they look cooler, I don't know. Okay, so it's basically going to be me against their entire team. But I have a two-handed sword, so I'll be fine. Oh, that's right, I don't have a shield. Now, the AI is actually really bad at leading shots. They will aim where you are, so if you run straight at them, they will block it, or they will shoot you. However, if you run at an angle to them, they will not be able to lead you. No, just like I said, run at an angle, you'll be fine. Okay. Now, I am actually on the ground. Normally, that would be bad, but not... Oh, he got screwed. Not only does he have a sword, but he has a dagger as well. The AI for cavalry is really, really bad in the arena, which is where we're at. It's, when you're out on the field, though, the cavalry handle much better. Okay, yeah, so I'm out of money right now. But now we're down to one-on-one, so unless I get really, really screwed, I should be able to do this just fine. Okay. Now, cavalry. Cavalry combat is actually quite interesting. You can maneuver your horse fairly well, but your horse does have weaknesses. Being on a horse is not the be-all, end-all. You are very weak to polearm weapons when you are on horseback. That means that if an enemy has a polearm, they can whack you a good one. It's very easy to kill a horseman that's charging you because your horse takes damage. However, when you are on horseback, you gain a... basically, you get a speed bonus. So, if I'm running towards somebody and I swing and I hit them with it, I do increase damage. Now, the downside is when I'm on horseback, that greatly increases, but when I'm charging at somebody, that increased damage happens. Now, here, watch what happens. Oh, dear. Okay, I need to back up a little bit so he actually charges me. Now, I'm going to stab. Right there, you can see, I actually had a speed bonus of 61. I did 40 damage to that horse. Okay, I only did 8 that time because I timed it badly, but... And, now that the horse is done, the cavalry is... the cavalry, or the mounted unit, is now screwed, because all they have is... Now, every cavalry unit is not going to be like that, it's just bad luck. So, there you go. So, just with the money that I got from selling that book, I was actually able to get a good amount of stuff. That's actually a really... The Muime Uchikatana is actually a really... And I'm sure I butchered that. I apologize to my Japanese watchers, because I'm sure I have oh so many of those. But that sword is actually a really good one for being what level it is. So if you're like just starting, that's actually a really good sword. So I'm gonna get that. Then I need armor. I'm going to grab the Teko. Sure, butcher that as well. This is actually really good, but that's nothing typical. that because I like the darker suit. I could do that. That doesn't look too bad. That actually doesn't look bad at all. But it only gives 17, so that's not particularly good. Yeah, see, this is better. Okay. And is there... No, they don't have the headband that I usually like. So, I had to pay a bit, but I got a pretty good sword. I don't have any throwing weapons right now, so there's no grabbing. Yeah, okay. I'm actually pretty good with what I've got. So that is an example of a tournament. Now, tournaments are a great way to farm money, but how do I level up? Like, so, you level up by getting into battles. Now, there are 27 of them versus one of me. I am going to win. Now, there is a bit of a downside with these guys that you need to be careful about. Normal looters in Mountain Blade don't really have... All these sentries are going to be really bad. Normal looters in Mountain Blade are hopelessly pathetic. They are super easy to fight and kill. They're no problem. Kengeki Gaiden gives them a bit of an edge. Remember, though, they have throwing swords. And when they first see you, they will throw those swords at you. If they have them. Those swords do massive damage to you or your horse, depending who they hit. Oh, see, the horse got hit. 16 damage. Yep, right there. I'm actually surprised it didn't more. Ow! Quit throwing rocks. They're being very accurate today. I actually can't afford to do my favorite tactic, which is I'll just dismount and just cut them to shreds. Kill my horse. They honestly kill my horse. I'm sure I missed just seeing the horse run forward. So this is where a higher athletics can come into play. Unfortunately, looters, like every looter seems to have ridiculously high athletics, so... Alright, I'll let him go. But that is how a battle works. Now, there are also different types of weapons. There's piercing weapons, cutting weapons, and blunt weapons. Cutting weapons are considered lethal. Piercing weapons are considered lethal. Blunt weapons, however, are not. So, if you hit an enemy with, say, blunt damage, and knock them unconscious, you can capture them and sell them into slavery. Now, certain enemies, usually the more an enemy costs, or the more expensive it is, the higher level it is, the more it will sell for. Looters don't sell for squat. Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually equip these, but you can sell them too. Now, when it says buying price, that means what it would cost for you to buy it. It does not mean that's what you can sell it for. Typically, if it's under 100, and usually I say 150, don't even bother picking it up because it'll sell for like 8. It's just not worth it. Now, rooted enemies, you can chase them and kill them if you want, but typically there's no real point. So, now we are going to go to Mukuzai. Which, again, I probably butchered that. Apologize. Okay. Now, you want to be careful in here because there aren't just looters. There are actually other, like, I think they're called forest bandits or mountain bandits. But those are mounted, or they're not mounted. They have archers in their group. So you need to be careful because those archers are going to cause you a world of pain. The archers, which are not quite like... Yeah, the archers are just ridiculously unfair. Like, in the arena, the AI actually handles fairly. In the world, like, in the actual world, like, that is not the case. It does not handle fairly. I have actually been shot off my horse multiple times. They still don't track you very well, but you can't get close to them either. One tactic that I used to do, and typically what I will do, is I will ride up to a group of archers on my horse, make them all start shooting at me, and then I'll come in and tell my men to charge while I'm circling and distracting the archers, and it usually works out okay. You get through with not a lot of people. Ooh, this is my favorite sword, or one of my favorite swords, but this is a sword that I really like. If this is the one that I think it is. Yeah, that is the one that I like. But the Moi Moi already does 42, so it's only got a 90. No, it'd be wasteful. I should use a polearm. That's what I should do. Am I going to? No. Okay, that's 4,000. It's expensive. Oh, there's the ninja armor. Ninja. El Ninja. I should upgrade my leg armor, but I'm not going to. Okay. I guess it would be fastest to just go to Shirei and then work my way up. I'm trying to find more tournaments, because tournaments are the fastest way to make money. And I'm also really hesitant to have anybody join me, because when you, like I said before, when you're just starting out, you're actually, like, it's the best way to travel is solo, so you can outrun enemies. But we are coming onto the 20-minute mark, 22 minutes in. So basically I just wanted to do a quick review of the game. It's quite a lot of fun. It's very interesting. So if you guys liked it, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like me to do an actual Let's Play of the game, I would be more than happy to. The game is a lot of fun. This is... Oh, they killed him already. So, yeah, just, if you liked it, let me know, and, I'll be more than happy to do a Let's Play of it. Just trying to find, like, I'll probably be doing a bunch of little game reviews until the lightsaber comes and I can get that video out of the way. Because I still have a request that I'm gonna try to honor, which is Skyrim, but I haven't been able to. It's really short for a two-hander, though. I don't like this. Like, check it out. You see that? That is so short for a two-hander. This is actually really interesting. They have the reverse blade sword from Rurouni Kenshin, and it actually does do blunt damage, so you can knock people unconscious and sell them into eternal slavery. Do they have the headgear? Yes, they do. The Hachigane. That's what I usually get, because it's cheap and it's pretty good armor. Okay, there we go. So, yep, that is that, and I will see you guys in the next game review, which I don't know what it's going to be, but it will be coming out soon. Thanks for watching.